The Septuagint Bible with Apocrypha in English. Genesis, chapter 39. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Ptolemy the eunuch of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, who brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house with his lord the Egyptian. And his master knew that the Lord was with him, and the Lord prospers in his hands whatsoever he happens to do. And Joseph found grace in the presence of his Lord, and was well-pleasing to him. And he set him over his house, and all that he had he gave into the hand of Joseph. And it came to pass after that he was set over his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the house of the Egyptian for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was on all his possessions in the house and in his field. And he committed all that he had into the hands of Joseph, and he knew not of anything that belonged to him, save the bread which he himself ate. And Joseph was handsome in form, and exceedingly beautiful in countenance. And it came to pass after these things, that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and said, Lie with me. But he would not, but said to his master's wife, If because of me my master knows nothing in his house, and has given into my hands all things that belong to him, and in this house there is nothing above me, nor has anything been kept back from me, but thou, because thou art his wife. How then shall I do this wicked thing and sin against God? And when she talked with Joseph day by day, and he hearkened not to her to sleep with her so as to be with her, it came to pass on a certain day that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was no one of the household within. And she caught hold of him by his clothes and said, Lie with me. And having left his clothes in her hands, he fled and went forth. And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his clothes in her hands, and fled, and gone forth, that she called those that were in the house, and spoke to them, saying, See, he has brought into us a Hebrew servant to mock us. He came in to me, saying, Lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, having left his clothes with me, he fled, and went forth out. So she leaves the clothes by her until the master came to his house. And she spoke to him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant, whom thou broughtest in to us, came in to me to mock me, and said to me, I will lie with thee. And when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, having left his clothes with me, he fled and departed forth. And it came to pass, when his master heard all the words of his wife, that she spoke to him, saying, Thus did thy servant to me, that he was very angry. And his master took Joseph, and cast him into the prison, into the place where the king's prisoners are kept, there, in the prison. And the Lord was with Joseph, and poured down mercy upon him, and he gave him favor in the sight of the chief keeper of the prison. And the chief keeper of the prison gave the prison into the hand of Joseph, and all the prisoners, as many as were in the prison, and all things whatsoever they do there, he did them. Because of him, the chief keeper of the prison knew nothing, for all things were in the hand of Joseph, because the Lord was with him, and whatever things he did, the Lord made them to prosper in his hands.